Alright, let's do this. 3-0. Time control. Queen Master, who is the third seed. We are paired up again. Let's try Carol Khan land. In exchange, Carol Khan. Alright. My knights are happy. My minor pieces are all happy so far. No issues. Let's point at their king. If the bishop played to g5, I would break the pin. Let's go with this. White has wasted some time. I don't want that exchange. Even this is my good, even though it's the good bishop. Let's just get on with this break. I don't need any more support for it. I don't mind double g-pawns. And now that this is a hole, I want to hop to it. Queen on c7 is good. Pressure on the knight. And now this is a hole. Let's get there. So g3 and c4 are both either occupied or eyed up by my knights. I think I want to just go here straight away. A knight on f5 could be pretty good as well. He's not playing. Let's actually return. I wouldn't mind giving this knight up for the bishop. I think I want some pieces to be exchanged, the minor pieces, because if it's a major piece specific position, I'm definitely the preferred side because there are some weak points here. I could take that bishop right now. I feel like there's some fancy tactic right around this point. I could just throw rook in the 7th. Or we could just trade a bunch, actually. Like, how about this? And then take the knight out if he goes there? No. I was thinking about this, but let's move forward. And how about we sneak this rook in? Just want a little bit of some trades. Because now we're going to, in the end, pick up a pawn. All right. How do we win this from here? Queen to b7 or queen to b2. Attacking a2, preparing to double. I just want to stop the queen from moving and the bishop from moving because I crashed through on g2. Kind of all bottled up now. Their queen is trying to get active over here. I don't even want to allow that. This knight can't go here to maybe interfere with my... Okay, I gotta go faster. A little bit faster. Yeah, there is that move. But I have this, which is netting the knight. That was the minority attack that I put into action there out of this exchange Caro. And in the end, it saddled white with a weak pawn. Let's take with the knight because it throws a punch at the queen. And now we'll return. It also kicks the queen off of this. And next up, we could... I guess we're just going to go... here. Let's just defend f7. I gotta go a little bit faster. Knight here, and then we get some material. I'm not converting this very well at all. At all. Yeah, there was a much better way to do this. Queen exchange, I am definitely happy with. Play a lot faster. And let's just convert this. Okay, they're giving me stuff now. And we'll just push this pawn, not too fast. Got that promotion square covered. No stalemates. No stalemates. No stalemates. No stalemates. That's not stalemate. They have one square. Okay, back to tournament land. Caro-Kann exchange. They kind of shuffled a bit with the pieces. Bishop d3, bishop e2, knight to h2. And meanwhile, I was making progress on the queen side and created a target. That target fell, and then it kind of fell like dominoes. But the conversion was not the greatest thing around. Yeah. Okay. We got 2 points in the tournament so far. Let's just support d4. Okay, so I may end up saddled with an isolated pawn. That is exactly what we have, but in a position where it is, they took on c4 a bit early. This rook belongs here. Bishop probably on g5, though right now they're throwing a punch at my bishop, so let's go. Which diagonal do I want to stay on? I actually don't even have to move my bishop. I could consider this. I'll go here. I up h7. Knight b5 is now a threat. a6, stopping that and preparing for b5 is probably a good idea. So I'm going after the dark square bishop. Queen has to pick one of those three. And, well, when I have this X-Factor bishop, I'm going to try to make sure his presence is felt. So a great way to do that would be to put pressure on this knight. No dark square bishop around that can support his post, and if he ever moves, well, he's the most important kingside defender, so this is what I'm looking to do. There's a bit backward. The light square bishop will not be a contributor in defending the black king. So I'm looking at these ideas if he goes elsewhere. Black cannot afford a doubled f-pawn structure. Knight, bishop, and queen, a rook lift. Okay, so they're stopping the structural damage, but they're working. They're now in a pin. This brings to mind. This brings to mind, but knight to b4 is a bit annoying. Let's jump in here, actually. Here, I'm trying to take advantage of the pin in multiple ways. In this case, or in this case. This I don't know if I'm so afraid of, because I could take on h7 and then take here. Restore the material and the attack continues. Knight, bishop, and queen is playing, and the rook is not long off from helping. These two are not yet playing. Queenside is not in the ball game yet. They're under a minute. Okay. So I could ignore the threat against my bishop and just proceed with this plan of inflicting a structural defect on their king side. I would have liked to keep my light square bishop around, and I could have probably backed him up, but I'm looking for something much more direct now. And this is going to lose flat out. It's a very common error that's made. And Lasker would be proud. When you see a good move, you look for a better one. And this is definitely a better one, because it's leading to mate on g7. They resigned. All right, 6 points is in first. 48 players are now in there. 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4. I'm one of the fours with fire. Okay, Mark is up. Let's try an e4 game. Why not? A French? No thanks. Let's try to turn this into a King's Indian attack. That's where we're headed. So g3, knight f3, bishop g2. You'll see these standard moves soon enough. At some point I could play e5, but not just yet. When is the right moment? Well, when I could be certain that it can be maintained. And right around now is the point I believe it can be maintained. Knight here, rook here. Queen here, queen here. Let's start with the rook. Multi-purpose, defend, and also vacate f1. This is the journey the knight will like to take. Actually, I'm not certain of... That's a very committal move. That might be... There's some serious issue with that. Normally you want to keep these guys staying. So he's kind of sticking his head out, and he might just get captured in some lines. So are they preparing g5 in reply to bishop f4? Maybe. That'd be pretty crazy to do. They'd really be asking for a piece sack, but we're just going to play it safe, not even give them that opportunity. I quickly touched on this idea of knight f1 h2, but knight f1 to e3 is also an idea, especially when the queen is on c7, because bishop f4, knight e3 is all of a sudden threatening knight takes d5. We may see this take shape soon. Let's start with bishop f4. This I don't have to necessarily capture on g5, so now we're going to play here. And if ever a piece arrives on this square... Oh, why did I miss that move? I totally missed that there's that knight move. Whoops. Okay. I'm going backwards here. For some reason I didn't see knight to g6, but what I was going to point out is that there's some sacrifice and then a push with the double attack against the queen and some piece that may be on d7. I have fallen for that many times. I don't want the c-file to open up. I'm willing to just go back home. I guess I'll be making use of g3 with my knight. And I think I just want to give him a shove really soon. c3. Okay. Right around this point, I don't feel like I have any attack. So let's take, and I'm going to try to close things up some. I want to fix some of their pawns on light squares, so he's not going to hurt me anytime soon. Maybe I could still attack. Throw rook on g1, g3, double up. So he's not bothering me. I don't foresee this pawn moving. Where does my knight want to go? He's kind of awkward. I'd prefer to have him here. I think I could afford a knight maneuver. Let's start with this first, though. If I did this, there's this move, and they're breaking things open pretty fast. That's what they're going for. With b4, that is a good idea. So right around this point, they're realizing that the rook move probably wasn't best. Not sure what that's doing. That's going to be annoying to me. Let's start with this. Controlling here, that might be struck at one day. And defending here. So he's actually a really strong knight. Combined well with the bishop, I'm putting pressure on these two. Here, I might be able to get away with some captures, and now I'm able to take here, and I'm going to do so with the knight, not the bishop. If I took with the bishop, they might have a piece sack and then a pin. He's really important. Really, really important. And now they're running into a fork. 30 seconds left. Let's take the material. Let's get my bishop out of the way. I'm not thinking so much about these guys moving. I'm just trying to double on the G file now. Continuing, and I feel like there could be some sacrifice very soon, or some undermining of this structure if the bishop isn't here anymore. Like this. So here, and then I get to do this next. And this is getting broken down really fast with check. And bishop h5. Check, check. I'll get the queen. I'll be able to control these two. If the king is on this rank, I'm able to skewer. I could take here. Rook is ready to move with discovered check. And I'm just getting the queen now. And where's the mate? Take the rook with check. And we got mate in a couple. They're down on time. Back to tournament land. Okay. We got 8. There are 54 players in here now. I see Jeff 2.0 is in there. Shawnee Sean, Chess Lion, Ferrari 10. Not the Ferrari most of you are probably familiar with. Tumu. Don't even know how to pronounce that one. Pepe Skywalker. Alright, let's throw a Sicilian at Skywalker. I guess e6. Okay, let's go with this. I want to point at a weakness in White's position. d4, d6 are weaknesses. This is one of the more accessible of the two. And let's defend the bishop. If I develop my knight, there's some knight takes pawn. Where do I want to go with this knight? Yeah, there's no reason not to go to f6. And what more? I think I want to just give this knight a shove. Right now, let's castle first. Let's do it now. Okay. And we're going to watch over the weaknesses in my camp as well. d5 is very weak. These two are weak for White, these two are weak for me. And now things are different. I no longer have a backward pawn. And I have the better of the two bishops. This will factor in. My knights now sit on good squares. They are focused on this square, and I'm focused on this one, and he should probably dive right in. Do I do this only after rook exchange? Probably not. No reason to give up control of the file, and only then go here. I'm hitting the bishop. This is a serious blunder. He's the only defender of the bishop. Actually, I'm threatening maybe to take, and then take here. So they duck that. And how about we play here, preparing to expand? What am I gaining from doing this? Well, I at least put into question the stability of the knight on c3. Structure is changing some. I could take. And now this is a newly open square for a knight. He would love to be there. So let's get him there as soon as possible. I may just have to work around a knight here. Yeah, and I think I could. I don't see any issues with working around a knight here. What's a little bit annoying is let's play this first. What was I gonna say? Oh wait, knight right here. Does that bother me? No, I don't think so. What was bothering me a little bit is if I jumped right in here straight away, knight to b6 stops this b5 expansion. Knight here forks the bishop and pawn, but I have this move, and that's what I was calculating. I don't think I gain anything from taking here. Let's just keep the tension. No reason to release it. Maybe I take, maybe I push at one point. I'll be on the lookout for forks. Oh, actually here. Oops. Here, I could take the bishop, then take the knight with the fork. So here, he's going to have to go somewhere else, back home or a4. Defending c5 would be annoying, so let's not do that. So they have a strong grip over d5, but I have two very good knights on dark squares. Okay. Let's step up here. I'm fine if they take my bishop. I'm not recapturing with the piece, I'm taking with the pawn because this was their only good square for the knight. So I've eliminated that. I split up my structure, but he plays a very important role. So the future of that knight is uncertain. And now this is a blunder because I get to take here, removing the defender of e2. And I'm on the rook. If this tactic wasn't there, this would generally be a very poor decision to take out a bad bishop like that. So now the house is just falling. He resigned. Back to tournament 15-14. I'm in the 12 area. 32 minutes left. These tournaments fly by. Let's see what we get. Tumu, who is currently the tournament leader with 19. Okay, Tumu. Oh, maybe we could turn it into a Benoni? Let's see. Maybe, after c4. Yeah, and we're going to try the snake Benoni. A couple games already played during this stream. Castle, rook to e8. Okay. That move bothers me. Bishop to g5. What are you going to do with the e-pawn? They're just going to move on forward here. Do I play h6 first? Wait a second. If I ask a question of this bishop, doesn't it have to take my knight? As otherwise I take here, so now I could break the pin. And then knight takes e4. I might even have knight takes e4 after knight takes g5 if they try a piece sack. So I could do this. And I'm ready to move the knight with the discovery. So like that, or actually bishop takes bishop, I take the knight. Discover check, and I'm on the queen. So we're taking here. I don't like that my king side has been compromised, but I have at least won a pawn. If I take here, there's this I have to worry about. I think I just want to keep my dark square bishop around for defense of my king, my weakened king side. Or do I insert a check? I'm not sure. Queen a5, I'm not sure what that really accomplishes. Maybe I should have done that. Let's get in d6 before maybe they clamp down on my entire queen side. I might have to just run in reverse with many moves. Yeah, this is one of them. If they try this kind of stuff, bishop to g7 and my king could hide on f8. They're not going for that, but they're going to target d6, I think. Or maybe clearing the way for that queen move, but isn't that short-lived? Knight to f6, the queen has to find a new home. I might be able to develop further with tempo. Queen f3, she gets trapped. She is officially trapped. No good squares. The bishop g5 line is one that I've struggled with before. I'm not quite sure how to deal with that, because they had an opportunity for d6, I think. Maybe instead of playing e4. So they're just giving me they're only giving up the queen. They're only getting a bishop for the queen. They could have gone to the e-file and forced a rook takes queen. Let's watch some light squares. This is where I'm sensitive. f5. And I just want to trade. I could take this pawn. Do a lot of different things. Knight h5 into f4. Yeah, let's do that. Just block the bishop's pressure against d6, even if it costs me structure-wise on the king's side. I'll take this pawn. And then here next. And this move, if they go here, I'll take the rook, even though it allows a fork. And let's just get rid of the tricky guy. 1 minute warning. Where's the mate? Should be very close by. There it is. The bishop takes away that flight square. Back to tournament land. I'm at the 16 mark. 27 minutes left. Okay. That one was a bit of an opening disaster. Knight takes e4, and this aggressive-looking queen h5 move. It'd be a different story if she could at least reside on h5 for one move, but I was able to basically develop, even though it wasn't a knight going from the initial rank to, f6. It was still basically me moving forward and forcing my opponent backwards. Okay, so what do we do from here? We have the bishop pair. I don't feel the need to do anything fast. Let's just take with the queen. She may want to swing over here once this point is challenged. Okay, queen exchange. I'll just take here. Let's see how they recapture. I should be fine no matter how they recapture. Let's just castle. And put a rook on the c-file soon. I prefer to go with the f-rook. Maybe this is an idea. Let's get here first. I'm going also with the f-rook because my king, given some moves, he would like to sneak over, and I think that's already the time to do that. King here. This is creating some weaknesses here. This is a point I'm eyeing up, knight to g4 at some stage. I don't know if I want to go over any further. One step is good enough for me. Let's factor in this a pawn. Let's take into account the rook. Okay. Playing very fast. Let's play this move. Not quite sure why I'm doing that. I continue to pull off these moves. Let's hit my opponent where they're a little bit weak. He's the only defender of this square. This bishop has him under control. And now I think they're going to find it extremely difficult to defend here now that my bishop controls this square. I may just be winning a pawn now. Surprisingly enough. Okay, the knight could go in reverse to defend. Yeah, but then I pick up this pawn. Pawn takes, I have this. Maybe they go into Pac-Man mode. So they threw up these pawns pretty fast. This f4 move is really the... Ooh. That is definitely off. Winning a pawn and the exchange now. And it's just going to crumble from here. Because we're getting a4 soon as well. So simplify, simplify, simplify. Up material. 134 left. Even on the clock. Let's just drop him all the way back. I want to kick him without allowing knight here. I can't do that just yet, though. Let's push him. He's passed. If I do this, I drop e6. Okay. I'll just come all the way back. Stay off of this open file. He'll probably just get struck at if I went here. And now we shoo him away, the piece that's in my territory. And soon we're going to continue to advance. In fact, we could win this pawn next. It's the lone defender of c4. Yeah, they're missing stuff. King g2. Knight there. Back to tournament land. 22-20-16 is where we're at. 64 players in this one. Okay. Let's see what we get next. Somebody, anybody. f4 in that game, they could have done without. f4 didn't really accomplish too much. Okay, let's try another d4. Moral chess on board. Let's try the Trumpovsky. Okay. And let's challenge this knight straight away. See if they react. I'd be more than happy to just recapture and develop a little bit, so that's what we have. And we're going to get in a quick e3 and c4 right now. Let's do c4 right now. Let's immediately put pressure on their center. Okay, so this pawn, the c pawn decided to take on a conservative role. And I don't think I gain anything by doing this move before this one, so let's just get on with castles. This pawn is pinned, so that's how they're unpinning. Got it. Which rook to c1? Probably this one. Not 100% why this one, but I don't see any other file being relevant. Yeah, there's really just one file that's probably going to open up. I have this move in reply, so what's the plan from here? Baby moves. h3. a3, b4, b5 could be a queenside expansion. This feels a bit uncomfortable. Could I take, and after this we take twice on c8 and then I win e7? Let's keep the tension. I don't need to prep b4 with a3. I don't have any fear now of the c file opening up. That move I didn't consider. Okay, I'm going to take, and this knight may end up trying to get into this square, which concerns me. I think I'm just going to have to deal with him. Yeah, he's going to return. If I'm given a moment, I'm going to shoot for this, or maybe even this move. Why not this move right now? Let's do this move right now. Break in the center. Okay, they gave up the knight, but that was something that was definitely interesting, because this was, as soon as I played b4, c4 becomes a hole. And let's get here. These files can open up on my terms. Let's go with this guy. I'm still just keeping the tension. This is my king's hut. let's go here, opposite the rook and king. Or excuse me, off of the same file as the rook and the king. Let's step up one. I may try to double like this or this. I haven't decided. Let's go here, actually. I try to sneak in like this. Take, and then here I could look for that kind of stuff. Many different ways the structure can change here. They could take, okay. And now my rooks look silly. Actually, yeah, their capture made my rooks look kind of silly. I can still try to pry things open over here, but yeah, they probably need to relocate. And let's do that straight away. Taking here fixes a pawn on a dark square, so he's not the happiest piece around now. My rook is supported, so we start with this one first, and we're going to look to form a battery here soon enough. We got that. I'd like to triple up if I could. They have to stop rook to d7, so one of these two. And actually, I could end up winning a pawn, so that's why there's some hesitation. Here, I could exchange both rooks, and then queen takes c6. They could come down and give a check, but I could go here, and then I'm threatening to get to their back rank and deliver mate soon. Combined with the knight soon, the knight and queen are basically attacking the queen, and the bishop is really, I don't see it as a defender. So I think that this one's already busted. Rook to d7. Okay, they're offering a queen exchange. This is sensible. Yeah, that's a good move. I think I could still just go in for this and enter. A rook should be dangerous enough. Are they just going to push here? I overlooked this idea. Okay, king. I need you to help stop this passer. He's not even going to be in time. Oh, man. I should have done things a little bit different there. Win that pawn. I'm winning this guy. No. Okay, so I guess in the end I was still going to be able to win that pawn, but definitely got a little bit scary. Gotta go faster. What can my knight do that's good? I take my knight. Gotta go fast. Oh. Drop that piece in time pressure. Gotta get some time burners in there. That's what this has come down to. Some time burners. Holy cow. That guy has some wheels. My goodness, it should have never ended like that. Got him on the clock-a-roni. But wow. That guy flew. Was not expecting that. Holy cow. Okay. How to adjust. Going from like ultra bullet speed to... We have 3 minutes now. My God. Whew. Okay. Alright, let's take. Well, they're taking with the knight. Okay, let's take here. That game should have never... It should have never went down like that. Let's go here. Just attacking the pawn. I thought that guy's time was never going to go, like, and run out. Okay, winning the pawn. And then I could take here how to do it. I almost feel like I don't want to take there, because they get some pressure. against my queen side, and I struggle to develop. Yeah, I just don't even want to take I don't want to take that knight. Or I'll take the knight, but who am I kidding? I'm taking the pawn. This isn't in any pressure. I just play b3. I'm up 2 clear pawns. We'll pull him back. That wasn't difficult to defend. They have to block with the bishop, otherwise they're in a pickle. Yeah, they just resign. They're going to end up in a pin. I wasn't going to take it. I was going to look to get to the 2nd or the 7th. Man, I'm still thinking back to that last game. What did I do wrong? Exchange queens, and I should have then played maybe knight to g5 instead of entering on the 2nd. Is this guy going to move? It doesn't appear to be here. He left the game, huh? What's the story with that? White didn't move. Black is a winner. Okay, ticker of time. Let's try an e4 game. Only 13 minutes left, so 2 more games for sure. Let's try a standard French now, so no. Let's try knight c3. No king's Indian attack with d3. All right, so this is a French winoir. Not c5 in this position, huh? Let's just ask him a question straight away. I think queen g4 is a move, but not very familiar with that. That is a bit early. No, we're going to go with h4, h5, clamp down, and let's follow through here. I like these 2 pawns combating court grip. They make it very difficult to move either of these 2 pawns. So play is going to come about probably. Oh no, they're going on the queen side. So how do we treat this? I don't want to be too quick to give up this strong point, so I'm thinking about f4. Or I could just reinforce it good enough with the knight. That's what a computer would do. Computer wouldn't play f4. I think this is best. It's developing. I don't need a pawn to support this. Knight here. If they put more pressure on it, I'm there to defend it. They could only defend e5 with 1 minor piece, and I can always have 2 on it. And I'm also prepared to meet this with bishop takes, as otherwise takes, knight takes, I drop the bishop. So that's, I wasn't voicing it for that moment there before making the knight f3 decision, but this was a variation that I saw, and I was prepared to give up my dark square bishop. If that happens, keep in mind when this exchange came about, that was black's good bishop that they gave up. So right now I'm giving up my bad bishop. They gave up their good bishop for one of my knights, and right now if this exchange comes about, they are giving up one of their knights for my bad bishop. In the end, what results is a good bishop for me and a bad bishop for them. So let's put my good bishop to work. And there's probably not a better diagonal than d3 to h7 for him. He ties in well with this guy on g6. How to move forward? I could try to scare him away, but I don't like that. That's a pretty weakening move. I can also look to just pull my bishop back and preserve him. Maybe I should have considered that one move earlier. Now, I'll just develop here. Queen here is not bad. This move with knight e5 is also an idea. I'm not thinking about castling in either direction. I don't want to pull my rook off of this file. There may be a rook up and over idea, especially if the knight leaves. I guess they're lining up c5. Maybe we could just go with g4, g5. Let's go here. I'm doing this so that I could step here and then drop my knight in. For some reason, I mean, I didn't want to go here because the knight. I didn't want to go here because I'm blocking the rook. I just want to go here and be stable, is the thing. So there we go. He's defended against any knight move and my bishop being under fire. Let's jump in here. I'm prepared to give up my bishop for the knight, even though it's a good bishop for knight. We would both end up with kind of bad bishops if this happens, but I have a bad bishop that is much more active, so this is what you're seeing right now. My bishop is outside of the pawn chain, theirs is inside. Let's go here. It's a hole. It opens up this square for my bishop. And I think right around now I'm maybe preparing to play g4, g5 next. Especially if the rook goes here and there's no fear of my bishop being in trouble. They're not doing that though. Let's step forward. They're giving up the exchange. And they're trying to hunt down my pawn next. Let's give this knight a boot. That move. The queen is the only defender. Let's go here. Tricky knight is around. Very careful. I think their knight is struggling. He is struggling. He is gone. The queen needed to stay on this diagonal. I'll go here with my king. And let's not go too slow. I'll take with the rook. Ooh. What is that? We went into time-burning mode too fast, maybe. Alright. Back to tournament. We got that one. 36, 22, 20. 7 and change. It's looking like only one more game will count for the tournament. Razor, sharp only. Okay. Knight f6. I want to try the Benoni again. The snake Benoni. Let's see what we get. A slippery snake. Okay, let's see how white's going to treat this. Okay, I'm going to go here straight away. Okay, d6 was a move instead of castles, and it's just a entirely different ball game. I will be challenging this bishop next. Acquire the bishop pair, yes or no? We're going to find out. They didn't do anything to stop this advance, so now my majority is in motion. They did without a4. This rook belongs here. And that move, I could play bishop to b6 now without dropping b5. Not like in that one game not long ago. Or just play c4 straight away. I like this first, keeping the tension just for one more move, because if I push straight away, the knight is happy to move, and the bishop is also happy as well. So next I could push. Maybe I deploy my bishop first. Let's develop my bishop. I don't think there's anything happening on these diagonals. Oh, actually, now he wants to be here to watch out for this. So here's the thing. I'm going to go here first. I guess I'm just going to work around a knight. This move, I could play knight here first, or this move. This would be the fancier of the two. I'm doing this now because I want to be able to move forward and reply to f4. So this is a nice jumping point, and he's coordinated well. Keying in on f2, they're ignoring that. And they're giving me a pawn. This knight really kills the queen. She's not seeing the world so well. Let's just break up this, and we're going to win this pawn. How? I want to move forward. I don't want to budge with this knight. I want to keep him eyeing up that f2 square. At any point, I feel like I could win the exchange. Now they're just cashing out, but they're giving up the rook for knight, but they're not getting enough in return. I don't have to damage my structure. And now in that move, I could probably just go here and let's not think too much. Let's not think too much. Okay, that move. Let's step up. I'm going to take my knight out. Okay, now they're really asking for trouble. I'm going to give the exchange back, I think. Yeah, oh god, these bishops are killers. We'll take like this. The knight has to block here. Going to g2, I take and win the queen. He had to go to f3 so the queen could recapture. Back to tournament. I guess we're going to get one more in. Okay, yeah, they did without a4. Is this the guy where there was that crazy race at the end? No. Not this player. Okay. d4, c4. We're taking here and not following up with e4 straight away, so they're gambiting a pawn. I guess we're going to take. Not familiar with this gambit. I've seen it before. I'm not sure what its name is. If it even has a name. I don't think that there could ever be enough compensation. I take. Is knight to e4 going to be an issue? I'll just take and get on with some more development. I probably could have backed up, but I felt that after knight to e4, I didn't have a good way to defend the knight. I could have played rook to c1. Okay. How to continue? It's castle. I guess a3 or this move. This gives me the, I get the dark square bishop back. Let's take here. They're pausing a moment for this bishop h3 move. I have ways to defend. Knight e1 is more secure. Yeah, that's why they're not recapturing. They're considering that move, yeah. But I do have this move, yeah? So let's do a little calculation. Here, queen here to maintain the pin. Then I have f4. No, excuse me. Here, queen g5, then I run away with the knight. If queen takes knight, pawn takes bishop. Some maneuver of a rook over here to here is not working. My knight's there controlling. I think this is best. Defend the mate, throw a punch at the queen. And now I get to safely move my knight. Not here, because after this, there's that. So I probably just go here. Or actually, what's wrong with knight takes b7? Nothing really. But I don't know if I even want to allow this kind of counterplay. A rook to even step foot on my second rank. Let's not spend too much time here. Let's just go here. Sum up a piece. I'll have a damaged kingside structure. Okay. Let's go here. They're trying to get this stuff in, but it's not in time. I'm 2 moves away from contesting a rook's presence on the g-file, and that's enough. And it takes 2 moves for their rook to get on the g-file. So I'm there in time. The queen will not be enough. So I see that as, the rook is here. My rook is here, and they offset, and so what remains is just a black queen. This diagonal will be secured if there's ever some check. At the moment, there isn't. I could drop f2. Let's not even, though. Knight f3. I don't care about dropping this guy, so let's go here. This one was more important. So right about now, I'm looking to attack. I'm the one who's opposite their king. Rook to g3 comes to mind. A queen move with check, doubling, and then I'm the one who's throwing punches. This queen is close to being trapped. In fact, if I take here, no, let's start with this, and then I could take here next, and this is just a goner. Queen here, knight takes g5, the queen is hit, and I'm threatening a knight move with discovered check. Yeah, it's an instructive moment right there when they tried to get away with the in-between move. It just was not working. Is there a mate? Could win the rook, something better. I don't think so. Let's just go in for it. And take the material. And how about we just key in on this square right here. We're soon going to have all major pieces pointing at g8. Queen could knife in on these squares. I just want to get out of my rook's way. Here we are. Let's sneak in. Let's just take. And give a check. Another check, and this is goner. Mate happening very soon. Yeah, they just resigned. Okay, that's going to do it. 11 registered there for the tournament. That 12th one did not count for the tournament. 81 players in all, 40, 24, 22. Close one there for second and third. Let's see all the pages real quick. 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost there. I forgot to go through the pages in that bullet game, or that bullet tournament that we did earlier. Okay, to the 80 of you that took part in this one, good games all. All right.